Good afternoon, everyone. So this video is brought to you by BTCC. Get 10% bonus on first-time deposits, extra bonuses of up to $10,000, no VPN, no KYC. The link will be in my description down below. But let's get right into the video here. So Warren Buffett once said this right here. He said, rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, never forget rule number one. But unfortunately, most people in the crypto space forget rule number one, especially if the market is rallying. The market's going up and up and up, and you feel like it's going to only continue to rally. So what happens is you forget to protect your gains. So this is why in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to use a stop limit order and how to use a trailing stop loss. Very useful tool in this crypto space, and I highly recommend you guys either write down how to use these things, or you save this video so that you don't forget. The pain that you're feeling right now because your portfolio is more than likely red and you've lost a whole ton of money, I want you guys to hold on to this feeling. I want you guys to remember this feeling so that the next time the markets rally, remember that it can always come crashing back down and you can always get wiped out. You know, not a lot of YouTubers talk about selling, and I've said this in one of my videos before, right? One of the reasons why I think a lot of YouTubers don't talk about selling is because when you say you're going to sell a coin, you get some of these toxic people in the comment section saying stuff like paper hands. Don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what happened last bull cycle? Now, if you've been following me for a while, you've already heard me say this. But last bull cycle, at the end of last bull cycle, there was only a couple people talking about selling. And in the comment section, what did I see? Paper hands. Don't listen to this guy. And what ended up happening? The bear market. So everyone that was saying, don't listen to this guy, paper hands, they got completely destroyed. And those are the types of investors you do not want to listen to. Never listen to anyone that tells you to hold. Always do your own research. Nothing in this video is financial advice, by the way, but always do your own research and come to your own conclusion. That's what I like to do, and I highly recommend you guys do the same thing. But looking on the market, it's a green day, all right? Most coins are green, which is absolutely fantastic, but again, most people's portfolio is just not green. But let's get into how to use a limit stop order first. All right, so I've already covered this with my Patreon members. If you guys want to check that out, the link will also be in my description down below, right? You can find some exclusive content over there. But I feel like it's very necessary for you guys to know how to use these things because I want you guys to protect your gains and stop going down with the ship, all right? So first off, most exchanges, I believe, have a limit sell order, but not all of them have a stop limit order, and for sure not a lot of them have a trailing stop loss. So check the exchange that you use and see if they've got a stop limit order and a trailing stop loss. Trailing stop loss, I love it. You guys are going to like it too once I get into that part. But let's start off with the stop limit order. So a stop limit order is slightly different from just a regular limit sell order. For a regular limit sell order, the way that this one works is, let's say you buy Solana at $197 and you want to sell it at $203. So over here, all you do is you enter the price that you want to sell Solana at. So you want to sell Solana at $203, you enter here in this tab right here. So you enter 203, the amount of Solana that you want to sell, you hit sell and you're good to go. Once Solana reaches $203, it'll just knock you out of that position. But the way that a stop limit order works is it's a little bit different. It helps you protect your gains or helps you walk away with very minimal damage. So this is what I mean. So this box right here where it says stop, this is where you enter the price, where you want the exchange to know that you're getting ready to take action. What I mean by that, so let's say that you bought Solana here at $197, but you're afraid that Solana could come crashing all the way down. So what you would do is you would enter, let's say this area right here, $194. So let's say you want to be you bought Solana at $197, but if Solana reached $194, you want to be knocked out of the play. So what you do in this tab is you enter a price that's above $194. So I would enter, let's say $195, okay? So this lets the exchange know that once Solana reaches $195, you're getting ready to take action. And then the price right here is you enter 194. So if Solana was to reach $194, the exchange is going to knock you out of that play. So you walk away with very minimal damage, right? That's the way that you approach this right now. Now, there's another way that you can approach this. Let's say you've already doubled your money or even more, triple X your money or whatever it is. And Solana is sitting at $500. You can enter the same information. You can say, hey, Solana is sitting at $500. But if Solana was to reach $195, if it was to come all the way crashing down to $195, I want the exchange to know that I'm getting ready to take action because I don't want to go down with the ship. So you enter $195 and then it'll knock you out at $194 if that's what you wish to do. So you can obviously adjust this to your trading strategy, however you want to work with it. But that is a stop limit order, right? Stop, limit, sell order. I highly recommend you guys start using this to protect your gains as much as possible, because the last thing you want to do is be up like 5x on your investment and then, maybe you've taken some profits, but what about the profits that's left in there? You don't want it to completely go to waste. So set a stop limit order. Very, very useful. Now, let's get into how to use a trailing stop loss. This is actually my personal favorite. All right, so the way that this one works is anytime you enter your trailing delta, it follows price action by whatever percent that you set it at. You're going to understand what I mean in just a second, right? But let's say you bought Solana at $50, okay? And right now Solana is sitting at $197. You have already taken out your initial investment, so right now you're sitting on a whole ton of profits. But what if the bear market comes a week from now? What are you going to do with all that profits just sitting there? Do you want it to get completely wiped out? Absolutely not. So this is where you would enter your trailing stop loss. So right now Solana is sitting at, let's call this $196, okay? So you would enter a activation price. Let's say you enter your activation price at $194, okay? So what happens here is if Solana was to ever reach $194, the exchange is going to know that it's time to take action. So for the trailing delta, let's say you enter this at 10%. So it's going to follow this price action at $194 by 10%. So if Solana continues to go up like this, it'll just go up and up and up and up. It's not going to knock you out the play. But anytime Solana comes down 10%, it's going to knock you out of that play. So it's a very useful tool to protect as much gains as possible. Crypto market is extremely volatile, so maybe 10% is a little bit low. For this particular exchange, it only gives you a maximum of followed price action by 20%. All right, so you can set it to the max, which is 20%. So as long as Solana continues to go up, so Solana could be, it's at $196. Solana can reach $500 tomorrow, but the second it comes down 20%, you're going to be knocked out of the play. Now for this section right here where it says price, it pretty much just lets the exchange know that once Solana reaches a certain price that you enter, you want to make sure 1000% that you are completely out of this position. All right, so the way that it goes, so let's say, okay, Solana is sitting at $195. You can set it at $190 if you wish, right? But as long as your trailing delta is set, as long as Solana comes down 20%, you're going to be knocked out regardless. But if you set it all the way down here, no matter what happens, you're going to get out of your position once Solana reaches $190, no matter what happens. Maybe a flash crash and it blows through your trailing stop loss. Anything could happen, right? So it's just a little bit more of a protection for your investment. And then down here, you can set the amount of SOL that you want to sell once that target gets hit, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, whatever it is. And then you hit sell, and then everything will get activated. So a very useful tool to have in your back pocket. I highly recommend you guys start using this because, again, rule number one is always going to be never lose money. Rule number two, Never forget rule number one. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys start taking your investments more seriously and start protecting your gains a lot more, because that's going to be the difference between your portfolio come crashing down and your portfolio just remaining in good standing in comparison to other people's portfolios. Now, if you are a person that is extremely bullish on a coin and you do plan on dollar cost averaging down in positions that you are significantly down on, then completely I understand you don't need to use this as long as the conviction is there. But if you are in a coin where you didn't actually do your full-on research, then 1000% you should be setting up limit stop losses and trailing stop losses to protect your gains as much as possible, because the last thing you want to do is be another person that gets wiped out from crypto. All right, because let's be honest, most people don't do their research. Their research is YouTube. All right, but that's what I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it made perfect sense. If it doesn't, I don't know, leave me a comment. Maybe I'll touch on it again in the future. We'll see. But until next time, take care.